Good morning. This is Tom from A Simple Life. Just walking out to the shop. I'll do a little shop tour. It's not much, just simple shop. You can see I've got a tarp covering it. The back side, the roof is a little bit, well, it sprung a leak, basically what it did, and honestly it's because I didn't shingle it properly, so in the spring I'm going to redo that. But you can see here, you see where the blue ADT sign is, and to the left, that's the original shop. And then I added on this piece, and then I added on another section in the back, or actually two sections in the back. I'll walk around the back here. This is the back of the shop. So I added this section here. Let me pan out a little bit. There we go. I know I'm right in the sun. Sorry about that. I'm just trying to... So I added that section. And then I added this section here, right from here over. So I've actually added 4 different pieces to it. And of course I got this king canopy, which is my garage. And I've kind of butted it up to the side doors here. You can see I left the flap open here so I could go into the shop, like if I have to change my mower blades or something like that. There's a ramp right there. And I can just go right into the shop. And I keep our bicycles out here, and my mowers and wheelbarrows and wood pile and such. That's about all. So my dog Harper loves this little garage. He comes in through that flap, and I'll try to be more steady when I go in here. I gotta get a good stick with a gimbal. But anyway, this is the main shop. I just rewired it. As you can see right there, you see that ditch that goes all the way up to the house. I dug that 18 inches deep by 100 foot, and I ran 220 in here. I just did that a few weeks ago and put a sub panel in and rewired the entire shop. But this was the original shop here. I've changed it around. I put that wood stove in. That's called a TMS military camp stove. It's basically designed for a tent, but it does more than enough to heat me up in here. In fact, I had it on this morning and it drove me out of here. So I built the bench, and then I got tool board over here. I had from here to here, the bench went across, but when I got the wood stove, I just cut that out. I mounted my drill press over on that end. I got all my tools hanging up, a little toolbox. I'm building some drawers right here. I stopped because I got a bad staph infection in my knee. I ended up in the hospital for a week. I had to operate on my knee, but it's all good now. And my chop saw and my router is right there. See the router table? I've got a Makita router under there. And then I just built this cabinet here. Just haven't really put much in it yet. I got a wooden mallet that I made. I just hang my screwdrivers and some saw blades and stuff in there at this point. This cabinet here I put up. I got these cabinets when I was still in the Air Force. They were going to what they call DRMO, which means they were basically going to turn them in for scrap, and I got a few of those, so I hung them up. But I put the router under there, and I wired it up to an outlet, so I got the switch right there, and a couple of toolboxes. I just built this cabinet here about a month ago, and then I built this one right here about a month ago. Built the 2 of them to store stuff, get everything in out of the dust, so to speak. Now that I've rewired it, I can crank up my dust collection and not worry about you know, having too many things going at once. I can run the table saw, the dust collector, so on and so forth. And this is what I've added on. I added this section on here, and you can see that's really just an old fence that I utilized. Keep my little planer and my little bandsaw in here, and a sander. Here's the doors that go outside. I rewired all this, and then I just put some shelves over here and some scrap wood and so on and so forth. And then on the back wall I've got some plywood leaning up and some more wood. But I put that top there because when I do crank up the wood stove, it doesn't need to come in here. I've got enough heat in here. I don't stay in here that long. That's actually my dad's old shopsmith vac that's used to attach to the shopsmith, but I kept that, and I'm going to use that with I'm going to get one of those cyclones and use it as a dust collection system, so I can keep that back here and run some hoses. I just bought a new table saw from Lowe's. They had it regularly $279. It was on sale for $179. So I grabbed it. Should have bought two of them. Anyway, and then this is the other section I added. I keep some of my garden tools and shovels and post hole digger and so on, ladders. I've got two generators. I can plug right into the house. I use the one on the right. It's a bigger one. The one on the left is smaller. I use that periodically if I want to do some work out and around the house to power tools up. Plus I give it to my neighbor if we happen to lose power. So it's not much in here. I can hang up a weed eater and a blower. And I got my camping stuff back there. That blue thing is you can dump your tanks in a camper, hook that ball onto your truck, hook that hitch onto your truck and then pull it to a dump station in the campground. Just a couple of my air hoses for my compressor, gas tank, so on and so forth. So you can see it's nothing fancy, but I like it. I've utilized a lot of the wood that I've used here is all reclaimed stuff. This wall right here, that's the original outside wall from when I originally built it. And you can see I just scabbed on a 2x6 and put some rafters across to this side. And this again is an old piece of fencing that I've shored up and used. And what I did on the outside to cover the gaps that you see in is I just put battens on there. Basically made a boarded batten fence. So that's about it. That's nothing fancy, but it certainly is good. This door here is I usually open that when I work. I put those pieces of rag because that's a low door. That door there used to be on this section right here, because this section in here is actually the second section I added. So I had a door there, and then I had the doors from here. I had those right where this tarp is. And then I added the rest of this stuff on. So again, nothing fancy. I got some of my exotic hardwoods I keep up there. It's a good shop. I got a radio in here, and I got a little charging station. Nothing fancy. Again, my whole purpose is just to do things the way I do them. I'm not a professional by any means at woodworking or anything like that, but I love to build things. Right now I'm making some Swedish butter knives. I'll show these to you. This is the glue up, but they're basically wooden knives, and they're a Scandinavian type product that date way back, and they're just basically used for butter. But I'll when I finish these, or as I finish them, I'll film that just to show, cut them down and sand them by hand and so on and so forth. So anyway, that's the shop, and there's the back of the house. Okay, well, thanks for watching, folks. I really do hope you enjoy this stuff. Subscribe to the channel if you're inclined to do so. We're not looking to get rich. We're retired. I was in the military, Air Force, till I was 60. and retired 6 years ago, January 1st, 2012. And my wife retired about a year and a half after that. So we're pretty blessed in our retirement. And we're not doing this to make money. If we make a few bucks, fine, but it's certainly, I don't want it to be a job. It's a hobby. We're going to film a lot of our camping trips. I do a lot of hiking with the dog. My wife has got a bad back, which is just about fixed now. So we do a lot of hiking, mountain bike riding, stuff like that. So we'll share those adventures with you. I'll share whatever woodworking I do, and we live in North Carolina, so I'll show you some of the state parks that we visit up in the mountains and so on and so forth, from the coast to the mountains. But thanks for watching again, folks. We appreciate it.